Production Amendment Bill.
When this assembly adjourned on Wednesday, the 10th of June, the question before the assembly was a motion by the Honourable Minister of Industries, Mines and Energy that the bill be read a second time. The Right Honourable Prime Minister adjourned the debate and he now has the floor. I understand the Right Honourable Prime Minister has delegated, but the member who was delegated is not here. So while waiting for the member to come, are there any further discussions? Yes, please.
So I understand that another member, so I can also delegate for a member to debate.
No, not to debate, just to contribute. The Prime Minister has delegated. So the Prime Minister is head of government business and as a head of institution can delegate. The same way that ministers answer on behalf of the ministers and so forth.
No, what I'm saying, Speaker, where we are now, we are at contributions.
Yes.
He adjourned the debate in order for him to contribute. So what exactly is it that he delegated?
Yeah, he delegated the reading of his statement, which is written.
Oh, his is to... Okay.
Yes. 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 So, but the member is not here. Yes. Yes, Honourable. Huh? Yes. Yes, yes, you have the floor, Honourable.
Institutional memory is very important. For those who do not know, I first worked here as a staff member, 1996. And on the question of Honorable Ampana, I remember very well, it's not only that the Prime Minister can delegate. I remember very well, there was a day Honorable Yatoivo had a contribution to make, and he had to leave, and he asked Honorable Ben Amadila, because he used to sit together, who read his speech. Any member can give a speech to be read, not just a Prime Minister or any minister, unless rules have changed. From institutional memory. I thank you.
Okay, very good, thank you. But now the Honourable member is here, not here, so unless if there are further discussions, we would move to the next item and then come back to this item when the member is back. There are people on the list.
Honorable Jonas.
Honorable Jonas? Honorable Jonas? Are you asking for the floor to speak on this item?
Yes.
Yes, you have the floor.
Oh, okay, thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Members. Namibia is entering a defining moment with petroleum discovery. Huh? It's not petroleum.
It is petroleum. You are fine. You are right. Proceed.
Number one.
Are you on the oil?
Yeah, on the oil, yes.
But there's most other people who want to contribute.
Petroleum, That's what I say.
Are we on the oil?
No. Oh, yes.
Yeah. Fire, sister, fire.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you. Namibia is entering a defining moment with petroleum discovery in the Orange Basin. While this presents great potential for development and revenue, we must begin with the Namibian working class. Development that has crude workers is not progress, and resources worth that fails to deliver decent work, skills and safety is not transformation. The upstream petroleum sector remains in its infancy and is highly specialized, with most technical roles currently filled by experts due to historical gaps in the local training. Namibia are largely confined to support roles, which, while importantly, do not build core experts or long-term career growth. This highlights two key challenges: a critical skill gap and insufficient labor protection. specialized training and certification remain costly and inaccessible, limiting local participation as well. At the same time, petroleum operations are highly risked, yet Namibian labor frameworks are not fully equipped for offshore conditions, exposing workers to safety and welfare risk. I rise to support in principle the bill introduced by the Honorable Modestus Amse. The bill modernizes governance, strengthens coordination through the presidency and the upstream petroleum unit, and enhance regulatory efficiency in managing this complexity sector.
Continue.
These reforms will improve oversight, attract investment, and support local content and skill development. Importantly, the bill aligns itself to SWAPO commitment to inclusive economic transformation, particularly through job creation, skill development, and social justice. However, oil and gas development without labor justice is not development. This sector relies heavily on contract labor, often through subcontractors, which can expose workers to job insecurity, unequal pay, and weak protection if not properly regulated. In line with the SWAPO labor commitment, I argue that this bill explicitly include enforceable labor protection, focusing on local employment priorities, equal pay for equal work, protection of workers' rights, freedom of association, and binding obligation for skill development and localization. To this end, I propose that this bill mandate the upstream petroleum unit in collaboration with relevant ministries to develop and enforce regulation safeguarding workers' rights, safety, fair remuneration, and capacity building in the sector. As I conclude, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Members, in principle, I support the bill because it strengthens governance and opens path for economic transformation.
Very good.
But petroleum wealth must uplift Namibian people, especially the working class, through decent jobs, fair pay, safety conditions, and real skill transfer. Let us build a sector that is not only profitable, but just inclusive and centered on the working class working and to work in this sector. I therefore urge that all honorable members support the bill with the inclusion of clear and enforceable labor protection in the national interest of our country. I submit. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, now I give the floor to Honorable Shafuda on behalf of Honorable Prime Minister.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. I am here to read the contribution by the Right Honorable Prime Minister, and I have also considered to the content of the contribution. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, recently I visited Reverend Ambassador Ausiku, one of the founding members of this National Assembly, when it was constituted in 1990, following the outcome of 1989 UN supervised elections. The law we are amending today was passed in this August House in 1991. That time, the National Assembly had 72 members, SWAPO had 41 seats, and the rest 31 seats were held by the opposition. Yet in 1991, members of this House were united by one thing: national interest, and unanimously passed the law we are amending today. They backed their political differences that were huge, and reached consensus that national interests weighed heavier than their political differences. The same national interest will unite us today, and reach consensus to pass these amendments, given the current geopolitical alignment we witness today. As indicated by the industry, the first oil is expected to flow by 2032. Therefore, honorable members, let us make sure that future generations will look to this National Assembly as having enabled and not disabled that flow. When the Petroleum Amendment Bill was tabled in this August House on the 4th February 2026, by Honorable Modest Anse, Minister of Industries, Mines and Energy, I expected a robust national building debate on our two new resources, that is oil and gas, recently discovered off our coast. I expected inputs citing good governance examples of these resources around the world, on which Namibia can benchmark and develop its own governance architecture of these resources. But we have not done justice to the bill, and I have observed our political speeches concentrating only on why in the presidency. We have not, with few exceptions, heard concerns from the other side of the House that in terms of natural resources beneficiation, how best would Namibia benefit from the petroleum resources. Many honorable members on the other side of the House are just busy demonizing the placement of upstream petroleum units in the presidency, instead of coming up with informed guidelines on how these resources must be shared by all Namibians. This is missing in your contributions. The illusion which is being created here is to doubt the very president that Namibians themselves voted for to represent them and their interests. In her own words, she says she has for years been part of the struggle to ensure that she does not betray Namibia and that she does not sell Namibia. Again, with few exceptions, if one listens to the speeches from the other side of the House, it is choreographed to precision, not necessarily to speak about facts, but to rehearse repeatedly the narrative with cadence regularity, that somehow the president would not be able to impartially manage the upstream petroleum unit to protect Namibians in the process of discovery of this resource, or to ensure that we do not fall prey to the machinations of the 1884 scramble for Africa. What one hears repeatedly is a rehearsed hymn book of opposing, just for the sake of opposing, because it's sounding fashionable to say so. Although there are those whose views appear to be founded in fiction, nevertheless, we appreciate them expressed on this amendment bill by some honorable members from the other side of the House. Some of the contributions made so far appear founded on sincerity. They don't doubt the honesty of President Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah. They argue that perhaps the president does not trust the system, and that was...
There is a point of order.
Point of order. Yeah, point of order, okay. Please. Point of order.
The insults apart, Honorable Edgar Shafuta, I was listening very attentively because it's a statement by the head of government business. And I want to put this to you. What measures and clauses in the bills is that part of the House that has brought the bill willing to compromise so that we take a national position? On the proposition of the bill, which areas are you ready to amend?
Yeah, no, but that question is not, the Prime Minister is not the mover. Prime Minister is just making a contribution. Yeah. But okay, I'll leave it. I just want to say that, but the Minister can continue, please. If she has something to say, she's free. No, honorable member, you have to wait for the Minister to say something. That's how the point of order works. No, he raised the point of order when she was on the floor. Allow her to continue. If you want to raise the point of order, you then do that after she has continued. Yes. Please proceed, Honorable Minister. No, I didn't hear that.
Thank you so much. Let me continue. I will come back to your point.
You attack the left, right.
I will come back. Several opposition MPs have been saying that the powers
So now
what the minister is saying. Because you can't force me to make a ruling if you are not allowing me to hear what is going on. And also, you cannot, just because you disagree with something, jeer in a chorus. No, you raise a point of order.
The time?
Yeah, remember it. Okay, now continue. Remember, continue.
Okay.
Honorable, just continue.
Okay. They have been saying that the powers must remain vested in the Minister of Industries, Mines and Energy, as has always been the case with the Petroleum Act 1991, to ensure accountability and transparency and see loopholes for corruption. But a closer look reveals that this argument is self-defeating. The Minister of Industries, Mines and Energy is appointed by the President. So too are the Deputy Director and the Director General and Deputy Director General in the upstream petroleum unit. They report to the President, as does the Minister. If the Director General can be corrupted, which seems to be unfounded fear of some members, the Minister can also be corrupted. The lines of arguments misses the real objective of the amendments we want to make. Oil and gas are our new precious petroleum resources that we can make or break this country. Those amendments, therefore, seek to bring about a robust, modern, and transparent legal framework that can guide our upstream petroleum sector responsibly and efficiently. By placing the upstream petroleum unit in the presidency, the development of these petroleum resources, new as they are, receives the highest and undivided attention from the highest office of the land. The Minister of Industries, Mines and Energy is not out of the picture, as some members from the opposition side want to suggest. The Minister
What is wrong with that?
will be working together with the Director General. Equally important, honorable members, is the role of the Minister responsible for the presidential affairs, a matter which appears to have been overlooked in much of the debate. The Minister responsible for presidential affairs serves as a political bridge between the presidency and this August House. In terms of the proposed governance framework, that Minister may be designated to table reports, respond to preliminary questions, But you should listen. Those who are, listen now, this is the important part. Those who argue that the relocation of certain functions to the presidency diminishes accountability overlook this important safeguard. The presence of a designated minister ensures that parliamentary scrutiny, now this is very important, is not weakened but strengthened through a direct line of accountability to this House. Members retain their full powers to demand explanations, request reports, debate policy decisions, and exercise oversight over the implementation of the Petroleum Act and its amendments. The amendment bill, therefore, does not remove the oversight, it institutionalizes it. It recognizes that while strategic leadership may be exercised from the presidency, accountability remains firmly anchored in the constitutional relationship between the executive and the legislature. With regard to transparency, all fears about the absence of physical transparency are alleged by the clause in this amendment bill that all remissions, deferrals, or refunds of petroleum royalties
No.
to the National Assembly by June
I will make a point. The presiding officer has a right to decline point of order if in the view of the presiding officer there is a feeling that the point of order is being abused to disrupt the proceedings of the House. And I'm getting the impression on this statement. So, Minister, continue.
I fully agree. I fully agree with NEF MP, Honorable Longinus Karimu Kumbu, when he said, and I quote, the NEF spending, this is this part. I fully agree with NEF MP, Honorable Longinus Karimu Kumbu, sorry, when he said, and I quote, in a very loud voice, the NEF plan supports the strengthening of executive authority in petroleum governance, including the involvement of the President as a final approving authority. The President represents the collective sovereign will of the Namibian people. Therefore, vesting final authority to the Presidency elevates petroleum governance from narrow bureaucratic control to a matter of national strategic importance and economic liberation. Please, as head of the state, the President has the powers to perform with dignity and leadership all acts necessary, expedient, reasonable, and incidental to the discharge of the executive functions of the government. Article 32.2 of the Constitution.
No, Honorable, please, let the members
My time. This empowers the President to establish and dissolve departments and ministries as he or she deems it fit. Article 32.2, Honorable encourage. 32.5 empowers the President to initiate laws for the addition to and preparation. With regard to the exposure of the President, now this one, I'm about to finish. Courts are there for administrative justice. They are not there to deprive us of the good governance architectures we want to put in place to strengthen our national interest and protect our national security. By creating an executive president who engage in the administration and execution of government functions, the Constitution makes allowance for exposure of the President, Articles 27 and 32. A takeaway from the foregoing is that executive powers, as held by the President, is not absolute, and the proposed amendments to the Petroleum Act do not affect Parliament's powers just to exercise oversight over the President's actions in any manner. The amendments are meant to keep high control over our petroleum products and ensure their proper utilization for the benefit of all Namibians. When she was sworn in as the 5th President of Namibia in March last year, the President equated corruption to cancer and treason and urged public servants to maintain high ethical standards at all times. Corruption in all its manifestations, she said, on that day should be avoided at all costs. And this message is to all Namibians, including these ones in this house. For context, let me quote from the booklet. I'm about to finish. My leadership vision for Namibia. On accountability, the President says, my very sincere conviction is that the value of accountability goes along with a sense of patriotism. Therefore, being accountable simply means that as leaders, we are merely stewards entrusted with various resources of the country, and as such we must be answerable when it comes to the utilization of these resources. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I'm about to finish. Let us support these amendments, including others that will come. They are all well meant and sincerely necessary to create a governance architecture that leaves no room for corruption. Once again, as Honorable Karimu Karimbu Ipumbu puts it, placing the upstream petroleum unit in the presidency is the correct approach. The president represents the collective sovereign will of the Namibian people. The president represents the collective sovereign will of the Namibian people. Therefore, vesting final authority in the presidency elevates petroleum governance from narrow bureaucratic control to a matter of national strategic importance and economic liberation. Petroleum is not an ordinary commodity. It is a strategic national asset that will determine Namibians' economic future for generations and generations. Its control cannot be left vulnerable to administrative weaknesses, regulatory capture, or external influence. Lastly, honorable members, it must be protected and directed at the highest level of state authority to ensure it serves the people, not private profit. We wholeheartedly support the amendment. I thank you.
Yes, thank you, honorable member. Okay, honorable members, I will give you the floor. I will give you the floor, just one moment, honorable, starting with you, and then I will go to the next members on the point of order. I just want to say the following. Honorable members. Yeah, under Rule 92, points of order, sub 6. No, you don't force me what to read. I'm making a ruling, and I make my ruling as I see appropriate. So, it says, if the presiding member considers that a point of order is spurious or frivolous, the presiding member may direct the member who raised it to resume his or her seat. And then sub 9 says, a member may not abuse the right to raise a point of order so as to obstruct the business in the chamber. And then sub 11 says, the presiding member's ruling on a point of order is final and binding and may not be challenged or questioned in the House. Yeah, so there was a point of order made earlier to seek clarity on the procedure as to whether it was procedural that a member may read the statement of another member. And the presiding officer has made a ruling on that. And in terms of these rules, when a ruling is made, that may not be debated. So that is one. And the point of order cannot be made in a disruptive manner. Now, having said that, you may not speak to the presiding officer from your seat. You may not interrupt the presiding officer when she is making a ruling. No, you are out of order. I give to honorable. You take turns, and the presiding officer assigns the turn. Now I give the floor. Honorable Verani? No? Yeah. No, when a member is given the floor by the presiding officer, the attention of the member is to the presiding officer, not to pursue conversations with other members. Otherwise, the presiding officer will take away the floor and give it to another member. You may now proceed, honorable member. Now, on the point of procedure, you said yes.
Speaker, I'd like to refer you to page 16 of our standing rules.
Say that again.
Page 16 of our standing rules.
Page 16.
No, in fact, 17 actually.
Page.
Yes, page. Not
Page 17. What point is that?
Under definitions, procedure. The meaning of proxy.
To go where?
Under our definitions, Honorable Speaker. Proxy means the written authority given by one member to another to vote on his or her behalf on a specific matter. That's one. Actually, I have 2 points. In fact, the only other time when the word proxy comes up, Honorable Speaker, in our rules, the word proxy appears in our rules at least 3 times. And all those times, it speaks to a voting process that takes place. And a proxy being designated authority to stand in on behalf of a member that is not present in the House. That's one.
No proxy.
Two, Speaker, you cannot do that.
No, I can.
No, you can't.
I can. At any time I can.
No.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. It is wrong. I can. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. That must be understood. You cannot believe that once you take the floor, you speak for as long as you want, say whatever you want. No, you can be asked to discontinue anytime. That must be very clear. Yeah. Yes, I can. So properly talks to voting.
No,
so now continue to make your point.
I just want to correct the honorable who's coming from Zanzibar. You see, there's a huge misunderstanding in this house. Just because, no, she's provoking me. But, yes, Honorable Speaker, you must also protect me when I'm on the floor. But, Honorable Speaker, right now you've just submitted to this house that you can interrupt a member while they're on the floor, which is not true. No, it is not. It's not true. No, I'm not. But you see, Honorable Speaker, but it's not true. Okay, Rule 92, the same rule that Honorable Speaker nicely scrolled through and passed the sub-rule 1, sub-rule 2, because sub-rule 2 actually says when a point of order is raised, the member called to order must discontinue his or her speech and take his or her seat. Must, not may, not by allowance of the speaker, but must, by the rules. Sub-rule 3, the member raising a point of order must commence that voting was any point of order, or at least the principal matter upon which the point of order is based. Honorable Speaker,
so what is the member saying now?
There are two things that are wrong that happened today. One, the Honorable Minister of Finance does not have a right, according to these rules.
No, she does. Yes,
she does not. She does not have a right.
You are now
to come and deliver a debate on behalf of another member. This is according to this.
You see, you are now out of order.
Honorable Speaker, when a member asks for the floor on a point of order which is raised under Rule 92, that member ought to be afforded the opportunity to be heard. First, he or she is put out of order. But every time we ask for a point of order here, we are denied the floor. We are even denied the platform to make our point before the presiding officer rules out of order. It can't work like that, Honorable Speaker. This is not a house of seminars and speeches. We come here to take on each other's ideas. No, it's wrong. You just go get to Zanzibar and leave us alone here.
The honorable member is out of order in this house. Honorable members, no, honorable member. Honorable members, can you hear me out? I have already said, and I have read the appropriate rules here. Rule number 11 says the ruling of the presiding officer is final. The presiding officer has made a ruling. But now she gets up and she argues with the ruling of the presiding officer. So she's out of order. Now, Honorable Ihemba has the floor. You are out of order. Now, Honorable Ihemba has the floor. No, not anymore. The speaker, honorable members, the presiding officer is no longer going to give the floor to members to debate the rules. Or to debate the ruling of the presiding officer. I think we have said enough on the procedures. Now I give the floor to Honorable Member. Honorable members, please. Honorable members, I have already indicated if there is a concern about the ruling of a presiding officer, we go to the committee. I hear you. I now give the floor to a member because I feel that the discussions in the house is being disrupted. No. Honorable Member has the floor. Please, honorable members. No, honorable members. It's too many interjections. Yeah, honorable member, please proceed. You cannot have more interjections than contributions. The interjections are too many. No, honorable members, the interjections are too many. We now go to the member who is making a contribution. The rule is saying when a member is on the floor, they must be heard in silence. It's in exceptional situations that point of order is made. But now members seem to think that they can debate through point of order. No, it cannot happen. Honorable member, you have the floor. Not anymore, honorable member. Please proceed, honorable member.
Thank you.
No? Go ahead.
That timing is okay. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Members, please. Let the honorable member proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, please. Honorable member, you have the floor.
Yes, I'm saying thank you. I'm saying thank you.
No, honorable members, the presiding officer is giving the floor to the member. May you please continue, honorable member? Or do you not wish to continue? Honorable member, please proceed. Otherwise, I'll go to the next person. I will proceed, honorable member, to the next person. Proceed.
Okay. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And I am humbled by the opportunity. Solely standing on behalf of the people that brought us here. And I am indeed honored to have this opportunity. And I want to say, Honorable Speaker, Honorable members.
Honorable member, no, please. I first have to listen. You are on the list to speak. You have an opportunity to speak. Please, honorable member, proceed. No, honorable members, let's not do that. The house will be sent into chaos. Honorable members, let us allow the member to contribute. You are on the list to speak, Honorable Ampanda. Please proceed. No. Otherwise, I'll go to the next member, Honorable member. Proceed. No, not you. Him, Honorable member. Please, you are on the list. You will come. Just no. Honorable member, take your seat. No, please take your seat. No. Honorable member, please. Let the member to continue. No. Just take your seat, honorable member. We want to continue the debate. No, honorable member. Just wait. Yeah, let's proceed. Honorable member. Proceed. No, honorable member. Please just take your seat. I'll give you the floor. Honorable member. Please just take your seat. Take your seat, honorable member. Out of order, you may not do that. Take your seat. 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 No. Honorable member, take your seat. I gave you the floor. You spoke already. No. There is no one on the floor. You can't make it. There is no one on the floor. No. Neither can you. Take your seat, and you will have no protection of the speaker. have the floor. Now, if Honorable Ihemba doesn't want to take the floor, yeah, now take the floor. I will call on the next member. I will call on the next member. Yeah, very good. Honorable member, take your seat.
Honorable Speaker, I'm honored to have this opportunity and standing solely on the mandate given to us by the people who brought us here. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, and fellow Namibians. I rise today as I raised with both concern and I must confess with a heavy dose of disbelief and the proposal to place an upstream petroleum unit directly under the presidency. Now, on paper it sounds neat, centralized, efficient, powerful. The kind of proposal that arrives with glossy language, impressive diagrams, and promises of streamlined decision making. But in reality, it sounds rather like putting a key of the chicken coop in the hands of a fox and then politely asking everyone to trust the process. And perhaps we might even be asked to applaud while doing so. Honorable Speaker, we must say it clearly, firmly, without any diplomatic confusion.
Let's allow the member, please, honorable members. No, let's allow the member to say. I cannot agree really, because we are not making any progress on the order. Honorable members, let the honorable member continue.
Yeah, it's a rule of the House.
We have only one person that has spoken today. No. Honorable member, let the member please continue. Honorable members, can you? Honorable Nampanda, please take your seat. No. Honorable Nampanda, please continue.
Okay.
Yeah. Please,
Honorable Speaker,
please, honorable members,
we must say it clearly, firmly,
no, it's okay. Let's allow the member to finish.
without any diplomatic confusion.
No.
This arrangement must be rejected in the strongest possible terms. Not because we oppose the development, not because we oppose investment, not because we oppose efficiency, but because we understand the importance of each.
No, you are on the list here.
And history,
let's allow the people to
both that of our own and of many countries blessed with natural resources, has taught us one single lesson. When you concentrate oil power too close to political power, accountability starts packing its bags and quickly leaves through the back door. The oil industry is unlike many other sectors. It is not simply about drilling wells. It is not simply about issuing licenses. It is not simply about attracting investors. It is about controlling access